Let's jump right into the cinematic horror explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the incredibly eerie, hyper-detailed world of the Whispering Grave. It's a story concept that takes those classic spooky graveyard tropes and completely flips them on their head with some serious emotional depth. So let's unpack exactly how this narrative manages to subvert our expectations so quickly.
Imagine you're standing out in the dead of night and you hear a faint, chilling whisper drifting up from a forgotten, vine-covered grave. Help me. What do? Do you run for your life or do you step closer to investigate? That simple two-word plea is the inciting incident here, and it hooks us instantly. It takes a completely dead, silent environment and just injects it with this immediate, urgent mystery. It's literally the perfect audio cue to drag the protagonist, and us along with him, straight into the dark.
And that brings us to our protagonist, 12-year-old Ethan. Picture this: cold, creeping fog rolling in, dramatic moonlight slicing through twisted branches, and long shadows stretching over cracked tombstones. But here's the thing. Ethan isn't out here on a dare. He's not looking for a cheap thrill. He has a purely relatable motivation. He's just desperately searching for his lost dog. That completely grounds the horror in real, genuine empathy. We're not just scared of the dark, we're actively terrified for Ethan and his pet. Because of that emotional core, every single shadow suddenly looks twice as menacing.
Now here's where the story pulls a brilliant bait and switch. You know the drill, right? In a graveyard this spooky, you're naturally bracing for some evil, terrifying monster to jump out and attack. But the Whispering Grave completely pivots. Instead of a jump scare, Ethan meets an ancient spirit that materializes as a gentle, glowing blue light. There's no blood-curdling scream, the ghost isn't malicious at all. He's just profoundly sad. This sudden drop from pure terror to deep melancholy, it's a fantastic storytelling trick. It catches you totally off guard and completely rewires the emotional trajectory of the whole experience.
So, it turns out this spirit doesn't want to haunt Ethan at all. He actually needs his help. Decades ago, a hidden locket was stolen from his grave, and as we know with classic ghost lore, it's acting as an anchor, a physical object, keeping his restless soul trapped in this forgotten place, totally unable to find peace. Suddenly, Ethan's mission gets a whole lot bigger. He's not just a kid looking for his dog anymore, he's been drafted to right a historical wrong. This gives him a clear, actionable quest. It shifts the narrative from a passive haunting, where scary things just happen to him, into an active mystery he has to solve. This setup builds incredible tension as we watch Ethan transform from a frightened kid stumbling through the fog into a really brave, determined investigator. First, he has to actively search this incredibly intimidating environment. Then he puts his mind to work, piecing together cryptic clues carved right into the old tombstones. It turns the whole setting from a spooky backdrop into a giant interactive puzzle. And the payoff is great. He actually unearths the stolen locket buried deep beneath the roots of a giant oak tree. It's perfect pacing. It rewards his bravery and his smarts, rather than just relying on cheap jump scares. And then, the exact moment he returns that locket, everything shifts. Up until now, the whole vibe has been drenched in this cold, eerie blue moonlight. But suddenly, the graveyard begins to glow at this incredibly warm golden light. It's a total visual representation of healing. The ghost smiles, thanks Ethan, and peacefully fades away into the night sky. The language of the scene flips entirely from horror to a heartwarming fantasy. It's signaling to us that, hey, the main conflict, it's fully resolved.
Which brings us to the deceptive resolution. All that built-up tension is purposefully drained away. Ethan finally achieves his original goal. He reunites with his lost dog. They turn around, ready to leave together, and the night feels completely, perfectly peaceful. We're totally meant to feel this massive wave of absolute relief. Ethan has his dog back, he's walking away from the graves, and we're just completely buying into the idea that this terrifying ordeal is officially over. You literally find yourself exhaling.
But then, they pull the rug right out from under us. Just as Ethan starts walking away, the camera slowly pans. The comforting silence is violently shattered by one final jarring whisper right behind him. "Thank you, but another grave still waits." Wow, what a hook. Just when you think everything is wrapped up in a neat little bow, that line drags you right back into the dread. It basically implies that Ethan's good deed didn't just solve a problem, it might have awoken something else entirely.
And that leads us to staring straight into the pitch black. The focus shifts to a distant tombstone as these mysterious glowing eyes suddenly snap open in the darkness. It forces us to ask one terrifying final question. Who else is trapped out there in the dark, and what exactly do they want with Ethan? It is the ultimate cliffhanger. It takes a neatly concluded short story and blows it up into this sprawling, haunting universe. So I'll leave you with this thought to chew on. If you were walking away in the dark and you heard that whisper, would you actually keep walking?